these 2 hours, the presenters on every news channel were saying injured but expected to make a full recovery, and I have no idea why, but it made me so angry.
For decades, Princess Diana's legacy has remained one of the most closely guarded and passionately discussed stories in modern royal history. Yet now, one of the people who knew her best has reportedly broken years of silence, sparking fresh speculation and intense public interest. As new comments draw attention from royal watchers around the world, many are wondering what prompted this unexpected moment and why it has generated such a powerful reaction. So, what exactly did she reveal? Do you think the revelation could reshape how some view Diana's remarkable story? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. To help us create more videos and uncover the latest royal drama, please subscribe. The question that still haunts Sarah. As the world prepares to mark 29 years since the heartbreaking death of Princess Diana, one voice that had remained almost completely silent finally chose to speak. Diana's elder sister, Lady Sarah McCorquodale, stepped out of the shadows to share the painful memories she had carried for 29 years. Her emotional reflections became one of the most moving moments in a documentary, offering viewers a deeply personal look into the grief that never truly faded. Lady Sarah admitted that the night Diana died still leaves her with one question that she has never been able to answer. She recalled sitting in front of the television as news reports from Paris repeatedly announced that Diana had only been injured and was expected to recover. Instead of feeling comforted, those reports strangely filled her with anger. Looking back, she still cannot explain why. Something about those early broadcasts simply did not feel right. Yet the question that troubles her the most is even more heartbreaking. Diana had always been known for carefully fastening her seatbelt before every journey. It was a habit she rarely ignored. So why, on that tragic night in Paris, was she not wearing one? Lady Sarah confessed that she has asked herself that question countless times over the years, but no answer has ever brought her peace. According to people close to the family, Lady Sarah was one of Diana's greatest sources of comfort. Whenever Diana struggled with the pressures of royal life or the relentless attention of the media, she often turned to her older sister for support and advice. Their bond was built on trust, making Sarah one of the few people who truly understood what Diana was going through behind palace walls. For many years after Diana's death, her family chose to remain largely silent. They rarely gave interviews or spoke publicly about their loss. However, as the 20th anniversary approached, they realized that countless people would once again be discussing Diana's life, her legacy, and the circumstances surrounding her death. Rather than allowing others to shape the story, they wanted those who knew her best to tell the world who she really was. The anniversary of Diana's death once again reminded the world of the extraordinary impact she had on millions of lives. Her funeral remains one of the most watched television events in history, with billions of people mourning alongside her family. Even decades later, people continue to travel from across the globe to celebrate her memory, proving that Princess Diana's kindness, warmth, and humanity remain unforgettable. Her legacy continues to inspire generations, while the love her family still carries for her remains as powerful as ever. So, when and where did Diana embark on her final journey? How did the accident happen? Let's delve into the details of Princess Diana's death and the lasting impact of a global tragedy. Princess Diana's final heartbreaking journey. The world stood still in the early hours of August 31st, 1997, when heartbreaking news emerged from Paris.
Things that the French police did that really are inexplicable.
Princess Diana, often called the People's Princess, had been involved in a devastating car crash inside the Pont de l'Alma tunnel. She had spent the evening with her companion, Dodi Fayed, before leaving the Ritz Hotel shortly after midnight. Along with them were their driver, Henry Paul, and Diana's bodyguard, Trevor Rees Jones. As their car sped through the streets of Paris while trying to escape a group of pursuing photographers, tragedy struck. The vehicle slammed violently into a concrete pillar inside the tunnel, changing history forever in a matter of seconds.
The princess, who spent her life in the relentless glare of the public eye, died in a speeding car in Paris, apparently trying to evade pursuing photographers. Her body was brought home today under a cloudy English sky.
Princess Diana's final car crash claimed the lives of Dodi Fayed and driver Henri Paul instantly, while bodyguard Trevor Rees Jones survived with serious injuries. Diana was taken to hospital alive, where doctors fought desperately to save her through emergency surgery.
The doctor says Princess Diana was clearly in pain. He grabbed his resuscitator to help her breathe.
She reacted with her arm. She was a little bit more controlled.
Despite every effort, she died hours later, leaving millions around the world heartbroken and in mourning. The announcement triggered an extraordinary wave of grief, unlike almost anything seen in modern times.
At the moment, that Diana, Princess of Wales, has in fact been killed in that car accident in Paris just a few hours ago. There had been extreme concern.
Across Britain and around the world, people struggled to believe that such a vibrant and compassionate woman was gone. Mountains of flowers, handwritten letters, candles, teddy bears, and heartfelt messages quickly filled the gates of Kensington Palace and other royal residences. Television stations suspended their regular schedules to provide continuous coverage as millions of viewers followed every new development. People from every background mourned together, united by the loss of a woman whose warmth, kindness, and humanity had touched countless lives. On September 6, 1997, the world gathered once again to say goodbye.
As dawn breaks on the day of Princess Diana's funeral, the crowds are already gathering on the streets of London.
Princess Diana's funeral took place at Westminster Abbey, before around 2,000 invited guests, while an estimated billions watched the emotional ceremony on television. One of the most unforgettable images of the day was the sight of Princes William and Harry, still just young boys, walking solemnly behind their mother's coffin, alongside members of the royal family. It was a moment that deeply moved people everywhere. After the service, Diana was laid to rest on a peaceful island within her family's Althorpe estate in Northamptonshire. In the years that followed, investigators in both France and the United Kingdom carefully examined every detail of the crash. Their findings concluded that the accident was mainly caused by the reckless driving of Henri Paul, whose judgment had been affected by alcohol and prescription medication, together with the relentless pursuit by paparazzi photographers. Officials found no credible evidence to support the many conspiracy theories that later circulated. More than 2 decades after her death, Princess Diana's influence has never faded. Her tireless humanitarian work, genuine compassion, and ability to connect with ordinary people continue to inspire new generations. Even today, she remains one of the most admired and unforgettable figures in the history of the modern British monarchy, proving that while her life ended far too soon, her legacy continues to shine across the world. Could Diana's death really be a mere accident? What are the possible explanations for her death? Let's dive into the details of the conspiracy theories surrounding the death of Princess Diana. The mystery surrounding Diana's death. For many years, one of the most widely discussed claims surrounding Princess Diana's tragic death has been the belief that it was not simply a terrible accident. Instead, some people insisted that powerful figures within the British royal family, or even Britain's intelligence agencies, secretly arranged her death because of her relationship with Dodi Fayed. These allegations gained worldwide attention after Mohammed Al Fayed Dodi's father, repeatedly declared that the couple was deeply in love, preparing to marry, and expecting a child together. According to him, these developments supposedly threatened the royal establishment, giving certain individuals a motive to eliminate Diana before those plans could become reality.
Her chilling prediction reads, "This particular phase in my life is the most dangerous. Someone, the name blacked out, is planning an accident in my car, brake failure, and serious head injury."
These dramatic claims sparked enormous public interest and were examined in great detail over the years. Investigators carefully reviewed medical records, forensic evidence, and testimony from experts. Despite the widespread speculation, no medical evidence was ever found to support the claim that Diana was pregnant at the time of her death. Likewise, investigators found no proof that an engagement or secret marriage plans had anything to do with the fatal crash. Other theories shifted attention away from the royal family and focused instead on the accident itself. Some suggested that the Mercedes carrying Diana and Dodi had been deliberately tampered with before leaving the Ritz Hotel in Paris. Others believed that a mysterious white Fiat Uno struck the Mercedes moments before the crash and disappeared without a trace, raising suspicions that its driver may have played a larger role. Another popular theory claimed that a sudden, powerful flash of light inside the Pont de l'Alma tunnel temporarily blinded driver Henri Paul, causing him to lose control of the speeding vehicle. Because these theories attracted so much public attention, investigators explored every major possibility. French authorities launched an extensive judicial investigation, while British officials carried out the massive Operation Paget inquiry, led by the Metropolitan Police. Detectives interviewed hundreds of witnesses, studied thousands of pages of documents, examined forensic evidence, and reconstructed the events leading up to the crash. After years of investigation, Operation Paget concluded that there was no reliable evidence to support claims of murder or an organized conspiracy. A later inquest in London also ruled that Diana's death was the result of unlawful killing, caused primarily by the grossly negligent driving of Henri Paul, combined with the dangerous pursuit by paparazzi photographers. Princess Diana's death continues to spark debate decades later. Despite multiple official investigations concluding that there is no credible evidence of assassination, books, documentaries, and online discussions keep the conspiracy theories alive. Her immense global popularity, the tragic circumstances of the crash, and lingering public mistrust have ensured that questions surrounding her final moments remain a source of fascination and speculation for millions around the world. So, who is this sister breaking her silence? How has she been able to remain silent for so long? Let's dig into the details of Lady Sarah McCorquodale's quiet life, spent away from the royal spotlight. The sister who changed history. Lady Sarah McCorquodale, born on March 19, 1955, is best known as the eldest sister of Diana, Princess of Wales. Long before Diana became one of the most recognized women in the world, Sarah was growing up with her siblings in the historic Spencer family, one of Britain's oldest and most respected aristocratic families. She spent her early childhood at Park House on the Sandringham estate, where she shared countless memories with her sisters Jane and Diana and her younger brother, Charles Spencer. Those early years were filled with the traditions, expectations, and privileges that came with belonging to a prominent noble family, but they also shaped the close bond the siblings shared. Sarah received her education at Riddlesworth Hall, and later at West Heath School, where she developed into a confident and independent young woman. After completing her studies, she moved to London to begin her working life. Although she came from a famous family, Sarah never appeared eager to chase public attention or celebrity. Instead, she preferred a quieter path, focusing on building a normal life away from the constant glare of cameras and newspaper headlines. This desire for privacy would remain one of her defining characteristics throughout her life. One chapter of Sarah's life would unexpectedly change the course of royal history. In 1977, she briefly dated the then Prince Charles. While their relationship did not last very long, it created an introduction that would eventually become one of the most talked about relationships in modern history. It was Sarah who first introduced Prince Charles to her younger sister, Diana. Looking back years later, Sarah joked about her unexpected role in bringing the future couple together, famously saying, "I introduced them, I'm Cupid." The remark reflected her sense of humor about an event that would ultimately reshape the British monarchy. Sarah's own romance with Charles came to an end after she made unusually frank comments about their relationship during a newspaper interview. The publicity surrounding those remarks effectively ended any hopes of a future together. Even so, there was no lasting bitterness between them. Over the years, Sarah and Charles remained on friendly terms, and she continued to be treated with respect by members of the royal family. In 1980, Sarah married Neil McCorquodale, beginning a new chapter centered on family rather than public life. Together, they raised 3 children while keeping their personal lives largely out of the spotlight. Although she has always remained a loyal and respected member of the Spencer family, Lady Sarah has consistently chosen dignity, privacy, and family over fame, quietly supporting those closest to her while avoiding the intense public attention that followed her younger sister throughout her remarkable life. What relationship did she share with Diana? How did she prove the closeness after Diana's death? Let's take a look at how deep Lady Sarah McCorquodale's bond is with Diana and her commitment of Diana's legacy. Sarah's unwavering love for Diana. While Lady Sarah McCorquodale never embraced the fame that followed her younger sister, Princess Diana, she remained one of the most important and trusted people in Diana's life. Away from the cameras and newspaper headlines, the sisters shared a deep bond built on love, loyalty, and understanding. Sarah was more than just an older sister. She was a trusted confidant who offered Diana comfort, guidance, and quiet encouragement through both joyful moments and difficult times. Even as Diana's life became increasingly complicated under constant public attention, Sarah remained a dependable source of strength, always standing by her side without seeking attention for herself. When tragedy struck on August 31st, 1997, Sarah's devotion to her sister became even more evident. In the heartbreaking days that followed Diana's death, she traveled to Paris alongside her sister, Lady Jane Fellows, and then Prince Charles to bring Diana's body back to the United Kingdom. It was a painful journey, filled with unimaginable grief. Yet Sarah carried out this final act of love with dignity and courage. At Diana's funeral, watched by millions across the world, Sarah delivered one of the scripture readings in a deeply emotional tribute to her beloved sister. Her calm presence reflected not only the family's sorrow, but also the profound love she had always shared with Diana. It was a moment that quietly reminded the world that behind the global icon was a sister who was deeply loved by her family. The trust Diana placed in Sarah was further demonstrated after her death. Sarah was named one of the co-executors of Diana's will, a role that carried great responsibility and reflected Diana's complete confidence in her judgment and integrity. Determined that Diana's compassion would continue to touch lives, Sarah accepted the leadership of the Diana, Princess of Wales Memorial Fund as its president. Under her careful guidance, the organization raised more than £112 million, to support humanitarian and charitable causes around the world before successfully completing its mission in 2012. Even after the memorial fund closed, Sarah's commitment to preserving Diana's legacy never faded. She's remained close to Diana's sons, Prince William and Prince Harry, offering quiet family support and attending significant milestones in their lives. Rather than giving interviews or seeking public praise, Sarah has chosen a path of humility, allowing her actions to speak louder than words. Her lifelong loyalty, quiet strength, and unwavering dedication have made her one of the most faithful protectors of Princess Diana's memory. Though she has rarely stood in the spotlight, Sarah's influence has been deeply felt, ensuring that Diana's compassion, kindness, and humanitarian spirit continue to inspire generations around the world. What position did Sarah occupy in Diana's heart? How much trust did Diana have in her? Let's talk about Diana's trust for Sarah that is second to none. The sister Diana trusted. While many people know Lady Sarah McCorquodale as the sister who briefly dated Prince Charles before introducing him to her younger sister, Princess Diana, that well-known story reveals only a small part of who she truly was. Behind the headlines and royal history was a remarkable sister whose quiet loyalty became one of the greatest sources of comfort in Diana's life. During the most painful chapters of Diana's journey, when she felt overwhelmed by loneliness, betrayal, and the constant pressure of worldwide attention, she reportedly told a close friend that Sarah was the only person she truly trusted. Those deeply personal words offer a rare glimpse into the private world of a princess who often struggled to know whom she could rely on. The powerful bond between Sarah and Diana was built long before palaces, crowns, and royal titles entered their lives. As children, they endured the heartbreak of their parents' bitter divorce, an experience that left lasting emotional wounds on the Spencer family. In those difficult years, the older siblings naturally became protectors of the younger ones. Sarah, who was 6 years older than Diana, stepped into that role with warmth and quiet strength. She became far more than an older sister. She was a trusted advisor, a caring guardian, and a steady source of reassurance whenever Diana felt uncertain or afraid. When Diana later moved to London to begin a more independent life, Sarah welcomed her into her apartment. Diana stayed there while helping with everyday household tasks, creating a simple arrangement that reflected their closeness rather than privilege. The ordinary routines of cooking meals, cleaning the home, laughing together, and sharing life's small moments deepened a relationship already rooted in genuine love, honesty, and mutual respect. Those peaceful days became treasured memories that neither fame nor fortune could ever replace. Even after Diana became the most photographed woman in the world and one of the most admired figures of her generation, Sarah refused to treat her differently. She never allowed royal status or public admiration to stand between them. Instead, she remained the rare person who spoke with complete honesty, protected Diana's most private thoughts, and stood faithfully beside her through moments of joy as well as seasons of heartbreak. When Diana's marriage fell apart under the weight of public scandals, broken trust, and relentless media attention, Sarah became her safe place. Following Diana's tragic death in Paris in 1997, Sarah accompanied Prince Charles to bring her beloved sister home. At Diana's funeral, she delivered a touching reading that brought comfort and hope to millions of mourners. Today, living quietly away from public attention, Lady Sarah continues to honor Diana's memory not through headlines or interviews, but through the enduring loyalty, quiet dignity, and unconditional love that made their sisterhood truly unforgettable. Has Sarah been instrumental in upholding Diana's legacy? What role did she play in Diana's funeral? Let's find out how Sarah McCorquodale has been keeping Diana's legacy alive. Protecting Diana's legacy through service. The days after Princess Diana's funeral were filled with deep sorrow, painful memories, and a worldwide sense of loss. While millions of people mourned the woman they had admired and loved, her older sister, Lady Sarah McCorquodale, quietly accepted a responsibility that would become one of the most important chapters of her own life. Many people had already been moved by Lady Sarah's emotional reading during Diana's funeral service. Standing before world leaders, members of the royal family, and millions watching across the globe, she delivered her tribute with remarkable dignity and strength. But once the funeral ended and the public attention slowly faded, Lady Sarah chose not to disappear from her sister's story. Instead, she dedicated herself to protecting and continuing the values Diana had lived for. Taking on the role of president of the Diana Memorial Fund, Lady Sarah made it her mission to ensure that Diana's extraordinary compassion would not end with her passing. Rather than allowing Diana's humanitarian work to become only a cherished memory, she worked tirelessly to transform that legacy into lasting action. The fund became a powerful way of carrying forward Diana's commitment to helping those who were often forgotten: the poor, the sick, the vulnerable, and those living on the margins of society. For the next 15 years, Lady Sarah remained deeply committed to this mission. Working alongside trustees, supporters, and charity partners, she helped guide the organization as it funded life-changing projects both in Britain and across the world. Under her leadership, the Diana Memorial Fund raised an astonishing £112 million. That money was used to support countless charitable organizations, provide opportunities for disadvantaged communities, improve healthcare, fight poverty, and bring hope to people whose lives had been transformed by hardship. Unlike the public spotlight that often surrounded Diana, Lady Sarah carried out this work with quiet determination and little desire for recognition. She rarely sought headlines or praise. Instead, she allowed the impact of the fund's work to speak for itself, honoring her sister in the most meaningful way possible, through service to others. In 2012, after successfully completing the goals it had been created to achieve, the Diana Memorial Fund officially closed its doors. Yet, its closing did not mark the end of its influence. The millions it invested in charitable causes continue to make a difference through organizations and communities that still benefit from its support. Today, Lady Sarah's dedication stands as a powerful reminder that preserving someone's legacy is not only about remembering them with the words. It is about continuing their work, protecting the values they believed in, and ensuring that their compassion continues to touch lives long after they are gone. So, what do you think about Lady Sarah McCorquodale's revelation? Do you really think her support for Diana's legacies explains the bond they shared? We'd love to hear your opinions in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe.